MelodicMic.
And I'm Anita Kay.
In this episode of The Mac Show, we talk about...
how to channel the right motivation.
And that's the right motivation.
Thanks for joining, everybody. So today we're talking about how to channel the right motivation.
The correct motivation for you.
I think there's some keys that we all need to really hone in on to really help us with motivation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really big word. We think we're all motivated. We think we know how to obtain motivation, but do we? Do you? Have you always known how to be self-motivated or what motivation is?
No.
MelodicMic?
No. This has been a long, drawn-out process for myself over countless years of failure, falling on my face, and learning. Because you know
I
what?
can attest to that too.
Yeah. You can't be afraid to experiment. You can't be afraid to go out there and just put yourself out there to really see where your confidence is going to grow from.
Well said. But how do we do it? I think there's a couple of things we need to keep in mind. Or this is what I keep in mind.
Okay.
I would say number one, I make a decision on what my goals are. Personal goals, professional goals. What are the goals? So I've got to have the intention that I have to put some goals down and that are attainable not only in the long run, but in the short run too.
Absolutely.
I think it's very important to have wins along the way.
Yeah. You have this big lofty goal, and you have to understand that you're going to have to break it down to smaller goals in between. There's no way for you to reach unless you go baby steps. It's always about taking one foot in front of the other and reaching that goal. I think what builds confidence is knowing the fact that what Anita just said right now is that those small victories, really when you tally that up, becomes huge when it comes to your self-esteem boost. So remember that. Small goals to lead to your overall grandiose goal.
I think another one that's really important, and this is what personally I do, is what attributes do I need to adopt for myself? I think that's a good one.
That's what I said.
What attributes do you need to obtain? So we talked in an episode formerly about power attributes.
Yes.
So I really like to hone in on what attitudes, what attributes do I really need to have to stay motivated? You know, for me, a couple come to mind: patience, perseverance, and self-discipline.
I talk about my assets.
Come on now.
I'm just going.
I think that's one of them, but do you have any others that really help you stay motivated?
It's, you know what? It's huge. I'm not talking about huge. Patience is huge. Patience is definitely key. Knowing the fact that, you know what, it's going to take a little bit of time. A lot of us want things to happen instantaneously, and it's not going to happen.
I do sometimes.
Right. You put your best foot forward, and you know what, sometimes it just doesn't happen right then and there. You have to realize that as long as you keep trucking along and you're patient, but you put your head down, you're grinding it out and grinding it out.
Really focus.
Yeah, you're going to get there. You just have to be patient. Patience is huge when it comes to like being self-motivated. And I want to add this.
Okay.
Don't beat yourself down if it doesn't work out or if you fall off track.
That's a motivation in itself, I think.
It's a motivation in itself. You know, some people have this thing with fear where I believe fear does two things. It can either motivate you or paralyze you. Paralyzing, meaning that you're not going to do anything and you're just going to stop. Or you can use that to motivate you in order to take the next step forward. But motivation when it comes to being patient, so huge. Taking steps. I think being honest with yourself is another thing.
And I think finally for me, what also works is my environment. I'm a product of my environment. Is my environment set up to support my motivation, my goals, my happiness? I like to be inspired, MelodicMic, about having a lot of open space, colors, energy, temperature, even some of those fine, minute details, having a lot of plants around, a lot of greenery, being in nature. So if we don't have the right environment, what do we need to do? Do we need to relocate? Do we need to place something somewhere? Do we need to wash the windows? Whatever it may be for you, having the right environment is like a platform. It's like the foundation for your motivation to grow.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
You talk about environment, right? Maybe you guys will know this and comment below if this has to do with you. But I get affected by the weather. So if it's cloudy, my mood changes, my energy's down.
A lot of people.
Okay.
A lot of people.
Some friends of mine love the rain. They get energized by the cloudiness. And I'm like, I guess Seattle and the Northwest
Yes,
region of the
yes.
United States
Those are good
is like
examples.
great places to live for those people. I wouldn't be able to do it, but I think environment's huge.
Environment's
and
really
knowing,
big.
knowing your surroundings is huge. Right?
I think it's a very key element to making you feel energized
Yes.
and really connecting with your goals.
I want to add one more thing.
Sure.
It'll take time for you to do this, but really figuring out what your purpose is in this life. I think that's the biggest motivation for me. When I figured out that I just want to continue serving and reaching out to people, and I think this is the reason why we feel as
Yes,
though
it really
the Mac
is.
Show. It's
We
for
want to
you.
give back,
Yeah.
and having self growth is one of the really important keys to happiness.
Right. So knowing that purpose gives us the drive, the energy, the focus to towards that goal, and that brings so much confidence and motivation that we know that this is what we want to do for you. You know.
And we want to help you get there.
Exactly. So huge things. Anita just threw so many great tools for you. You know.
I'd love to hear from you. I know there's
Yes.
endless amounts of amazing tools out there in the marketplace. Please write to us. Please comment below and really let us know what are some other takeaways that you can do to enhance your motivation.
On top of that, let me ask you one thing. Give us one thing that motivates you right now.
I'd love to hear that. I really would love to hear that. Please do. We really look forward to hearing from you.
And don't forget, subscribe.
Here,
Below.
there, yes, everywhere.
All right.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
until
I'm
next
Anita
time.
Kay,
I'm MelodicMic.
and this is The Mac Show.
Hey. Hey.
This episode's about salsa dancing.
Not.
We're gonna show you what the real right motivation
Or you
is.
can say that's what motivates me. What motivates you, Melodic Mike?
This right here. This right there.